VTubing is it's such a community. It's like you have like some sort. It's like a virtual community. I wouldn't say it's like a cult or anything. It's just there's a lot of people who like tend to not like themselves so much that what the. So these guys just found my channel. Jesus Christ. I've never thought that people were actually just gonna notice me right off the bat. I want to thank my community for just supporting me in any way in terms of content creation. I hope I expand my content further, and I hope that God praises me even more through content creation, through making games, making art, etc. I hope God just achieves more. Anyway, VR chat is basically just people, it's like virtual people, so they don't necessarily want to show their faces, but people just tend to hang out with themselves and on the internet with other like people on the internet, having fun in general. So that's what I personally like. Is it entertaining? No, it isn't. Well, I mean, sometimes it can be entertaining. Like I said, these VTubers tend to do a lot of content all together. They're like really inhibited. They do stuff a lot of time. They're like, So that's what I generally think about content creation. And VTubing is a different type of content creation. It's still around the topic of VTubing and streaming, but just like on a broad range of like audience in general. You have to wait to get support. There's like a lack of support in the VTubing community. You might have friends, but you know, it's just you in your house and then you're doing streaming on the internet, which is kind of desaturated. It's harder to get like followers that way than actually doing it in real life. I'll be discussing some of the reasons why I'm not doing VTubing over real life videography, and it's kind of depressing. And to any of you watching this video that is a VTuber, I hope that I convince you not to become a VTuber and actually stylize yourself in the world that you are in right now. So, the first reason of why I don't do VTubing is because, well, it's just I don't have much preparation in order to do the VTubing hobby. It just takes a lot of pressure and a lot of work in order to do that. First of all, if you want to draw stuff, you need to learn how to draw. Unless if you're like doing some sort of like art thingy or community or like doing like art every day, I don't think you want to take like hours or minutes or even days or weeks or months or even years or decades in order to make your final art polished. So basically I made this in like 30 minutes. Just making this model kind of sucks. And I think it's just because of like the line art. It kind of sucks. This is my VTuber model. I just don't think it's gonna work anyway. And imagine having to translate that into the VTubing. It's gonna suck. Honestly, I just don't like my art that much to make it palatable and make sure that it gets millions of views. Because whenever someone clicks on a video and says, okay, I don't really like your video because your art kind of sucks, and then they click off, then that's kind of going to be the reason why I hate doing that. It's just because of that aspect of life. And I don't really like that. I want to talk about just streaming in general. It takes a lot of time to build a stream. Twitch streaming, all of that jazz. Compiling everything in and then having to edit stuff along the way. So it's kind of a bit sinful and shameful. Not sinful and shameful, but think of how everything. Just say that you're a good VTuber and then you have to compete against all of the other VTubers, and then they say, oh god, one is better than the other. Oh yeah, definitely that Filian YouTuber is better than this YouTuber that just showed up in my For You page that has like 0 views. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the other VTuber. And I've seen a VTuber that has only like, what, 14 views, and it's kind of depressing. And they have a whole VTubing setup. Then, like 2D, not only do you have to break models in Photoshop or something like that and then know how to stream, but you also know how to break models. And breaking models it's hard. I don't know, there are YouTube videos out there that teach you how to break stuff, but it gets to the point where your eyes are like devastated by the amount of sheer pressure that you get for like editing and then rigging and then attempting to like learn how to track motion, everything extra that you have to learn how to do. Obviously you need the model, so in order to get the model you go on Fiverr. You then say, hey, I want to get a extremely professional VTuber model from a person that might be shady or scammy. Fiverr is the most trusted app among individuals. Apple has probably like gone to like Fiverr and, you know, went to many of its talented agents in order to like make ads for them. So the cost for making a VTuber model fully rigged would be about like $100 to $500. And I'm gonna tell you, as a freaking teenager, I don't have $500. Quite literally, the only way to do content creation is get money from your parents' credit card or start working. Star Trek. So whenever I get out of high school, I'm basically just gonna go to college. Whenever I go to college, I'm gonna become an avid tutor. Anyway, enough of that. You need around $500 or $1,000 to make some sort of avatar. And I've heard a rumor that there was this one adult who wanted to become like a full-time streamer. She basically bought $1,000 worth of equipment, but it costs a lot of money, like $10,000, to buy a extremely professional suit. And then when she got like live streaming and then when she got like avatar creation, she basically didn't make a lot of profit because of this. And it was really devastating for her. One of the reasons why I wouldn't like make a VTuber outfit is because it is so expensive. Next, there's also another thing about like rigging stuff. So just rigging, buying trackers. So buying trackers. I don't know how much it costs to buy trackers, but I know that like a lot of people think that using your webcam is expensive. It's not expensive, but I think it costs like $50 for a tracker. And then if you want to be more professional, you would have to buy like an armor full, and then put your armor on. You get like fully trapped, and then if something bad happens, people are gonna, if your equipment is low quality, people will look at you funny and say, oh, that person's not wearing good equipment, and then just dip you off for that purpose. Then you have just live streaming in general. If you want to game capture something, especially from Elgato, it costs like freaking, they capitalize it, and it costs like freaking $200 in order to capitalize off of that thingamabobby. So it's kind of a risky situation here. And then investment wise, if you decide to go the live 2D route, it costs $20 in order to basically just live stream, and it's $20 a month. And then if you're attempting to edit and then you edit through the Adobe Cloud Suite, then you use music, it costs more. So there is some sort of membership subscription for you to try to make professional content as a beginner, which I wouldn't recommend making, try and become professional at the start. I'd recommend you like build up to becoming a VTuber instead of just becoming a YouTuber first. I don't know how much it costs to live stream for 1 year, but if it costs like $10,000, you know I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to spend $10,000 on live streaming material. This is not to say that like streaming real life is a risk. It's also still a risk, but there's less tension because you're not just like live streaming and trying to rely on your audience. You're just doing pre-recorded content and then editing. VTubing might be the same concept, but it really isn't, because it takes like a lot of time to actually do a sufficient job of VTubing. You have to do a lot of things in order to make sure that your VTubing stream is appropriate. You have to make sure that you have an accurate camera setup, like this one. You have to make sure that you have an accurate rig setup for Live 2D. You have to make sure that your motion trackers are sufficient. You have to make sure that your live stream is functioning well. You have to make sure that you're in the right filming space. And honestly, just filming virtually takes a lot more time than just doing it like in live action. And then whenever you have to like animate your animations, sometimes like by hand to hand, it usually takes like a week in order to do like some stupid 5-second animation. But that's kind of the truth, because you're like trying to animate a frame every single day, and it's kind of intensive whenever you're trying to do everything all at once. And it's a very lucrative that I wouldn't recommend unless if you really want to be passionate in this kind of industry. That's my big take on why I chose not to become a VTuber. It's not, I'm saying that you shouldn't become a YouTuber just so you can make money, but whenever you make a lot of money is when you become a VTuber sufficiently. But for now, I would just stick to PNG tubing or doing voiceovers or just recording live action.